another episode of MTRCB UNCUT. I am your host, Chairwoman Rachel Arenas. For our episode today, we will be having a no-nonsense, unrestricted, and unadulterated conversation with one of the greatest actors in the entertainment industry today. Recently, he was recognized in an A-list and a very prestigious international awarding giving body. Please help me in welcoming the best actor of the 78th Venice International Film Festival, Mr. John Arcilla. Thank you for joining us today, John.
Thank you so much, and good afternoon, Ms. Rachel. Good afternoon to everyone, and especially to our viewers.
How does it feel to win such a prestigious Volpi Cup award? At maging kahanay ang ilan sa mga magagaling na aktor gaya nila Brad Pitt and Sean Penn.
Well, actually, people are actually telling me, so you're in cloud 9, John? Sabi ko, no, I'm in cloud 21, and if there's like cloud 100, I'm there. You know what? It's not just because of the award itself, but a lot of actors are actually telling me, you know, John, when I heard your name won, I felt I won too. When some Filipino people, my followers, are telling me, John, this is Sir John, this is a proud moment for all the Filipinos. Gary Valenciano texted me, John, proud moment for all of us. That is what makes it so not just a prestige, no, and an honor for me, but it's an honor for everyone. That made it more feeling in cloud 100, because it's not just for me. The victory is for everyone. It is not just for me alone, and I love that kind of thing. It is not just for me alone, but I'm giving happiness and pride to every people I meet, and telling even the people telling to all the Filipinos, even the Filipino friends I have in the other parts of the globe. They're telling me the same thing. So yun siguro yung sobrang nakakasaya talaga. Sobrang nakakasaya.
Oo naman. Pride ng bawat Pilipino. And like you said, it makes it more meaningful and valuable to you.
Yes, definitely.
O dahil parang inuwi mo sa karangalan ng bansang Pilipinas.
Yeah. And if we're going to think about it, kasi we've been doing films na ever since 1919. That was like 30 years since the film was discovered, no, in 1888, or a little less than 1888. Kasi as early as 1896, we already have a film showing here in Manila. So we're not really new to filmmaking. In Asia, we're one of the first filmmakers in Asia. We've been here for so long. I mean, we're not the pioneers. Actually, Americans are claiming they discovered filmmaking. French are actually claiming. Great Britain is also claiming. So, but if we're not going to think about it, they're just the pioneers. But we've been filmmakers and growing with them. So I think it is just that they are in the mainstream, they are there, and it's just about time that they're looking for new materials. They're opening up to new contents that they happen to invite filmmakers in the outskirts. No, I'm talking about the film dome, the world filmmaking. No, not suddenly we're part of those. From the outskirts. So ngayon lang nila siguro matagal na rin naman tayong mga sumasama sa lahat ng mga festivals, no? Kilala ng Pilipinas sa festivals. But siguro yung recognition is just in time na for them is parang tingin nila nandito na tayo, but actually matagal na tayong nandito. It is just ngayon lang sila nag-open up nga because they're opening up to new contents, I guess.
So last year we celebrated our 100 years in Philippines.
Yes, definitely. So sabay lang tayong nag-grow ng mga film domes sa iba't ibang bansa. Kaya lang since sila yung pioneer, so sila yung parang nag-ano ng standard, kumbaga nagko-command ng standard. But if you're going to think about it, no, we've been doing that for so long, and we've been part of the global communities. Panahon pa nila Rizal, 18th century pa lang, we're making waves na in other parts of the globe. I mean, even Juan Luna was hailed in Spain. So we're all over the globe
Correct.
ever since.
Yes.
Kaya lang, yung recognition lang siguro ang ngayon nga dumadami, pero matagal na rin tayong nandoon. So it's just a proper welcome to all of us.
That's why we're very, very proud of you, John. Alam mo, di ba hindi ka nakadalo dun sa mismo award ceremony because you were in a locked-in taping. So paano mo nalaman that you won the award? And when you learned of it, anong kaya commotion yung kung nun sa locked-in taping kasi kung nagka-commotion doon nung nalaman mo na ikaw yung nanalo?
Well, you will not believe this, but this is not the first time I did this thing, no? As early as August, when we found out that we're going to be part of the main competition, every time I sleep, as early as August, a month before this event, there is this speech coming over me every time I go to bed. So that speech is actually just coming inside my head for so long, no? Because I mean, every actor dreams of having an international award, definitely. So matagal ko nang iniisip yan, matagal ko na siyang pangarap. But then when we learned that we cannot get somehow a certification, at least to stay for a shortened stay, quarantine in a hotel, coming back to Manila, I dropped the idea because I think I cannot really see myself staying in a hotel for 14 days locked in, no? So nag-worry ako sa idea na yon kasi sabi nga namin, we're actually asking man lang sana permission since parang we are also like Philippine ambassadors to this kind of event naman. Kaya lang talagang mahigpit yung protocol. So sabi namin sana kahit 7 days, but we were not allowed. So sabi ko, I let it go. Sabi ko, so I abandoned the speech totally. And then a day before the awards night, Eric Mati texted me. Sabi niya, John, try to do an acceptance speech because we don't know. You're not here. We don't know what will happen. Sabi niya, we have to be ready at least. Sabi niya, somebody should accept the award, but you have to compose an acceptance speech. Alam mo yung I was caught in the middle of making myself giggle na kilig at the same time. No, sabi ko, mahirap na. I don't want to preempt myself. You know, you will expect that you will win, but at the same time, hindi naman. Ang sakit na eh. So sabi ko, so sa sarili ko lang pinipilit kong wag akong mag-expect, pero syempre nagpe-pray ako na if I'm going to do the speech, you know what? I mean, I should win. I have to win this award. So hindi na ako nakatulog nung actually nakita ko yung text niya 3 o'clock in the morning. So sabi ko, hindi na ako nakatulog noon. Sobrang high na ako, kaya lang pinipigilan ko, no? I really have to contain myself. Sabi ko, no, baka naman hindi mangyari to. Ayokong suddenly, ma-disappoint suddenly. So hinintay ko lang na mag-umaga around like 8 o'clock or 9, so nag-start na akong mag-video ng aking speech. And then I suddenly realized, yung palang minememorize ko a month ago is a 9-minute speech. Sobrang haba. So ginawa ko, I have to revise it. I was actually trying to cut it to 3 minutes. So that's why when I was actually saying it, and I was imagining that is actually the same night that I'm receiving it. So it comes like I'm actually really parang so tensed and not so relaxed accepting this speech. But I love that kind of feeling. So that was the one I submitted to them. Yung medyo natetense na so yun. Hindi ko siya ginawang relaxed na parang so it's like the real thing that I'm accepting it now.
Galing mo talaga. Kasi naisip mo pa yon, di ba? When you were doing your acceptance speech.
Yeah. When I submitted it, siguro a night during that night, 1 o'clock magsa-start sa Venice ang awards night, 7 o'clock doon. So hindi na ako sabi ko I will not watch it. Sabi ko if I will wake up at least in the middle of the night and then nag-start na doon. Sabi ko manonood ako, pero pag hindi, sabi ko I want to surprise myself. So natulog na ako 11 o'clock pa lang. Mamaya 2 o'clock ng umaga nagre-ring yung telepono ko. 2 o'clock. Sabi ko Imposible. Sabi ko may tatawag sa akin ng 2 o'clock na hindi ako nanalo. Alam nga namang sabihin niya, John, natalo ka! Di ba? So,
Oo nga.
ano, so pagtingin ko pa lang again, sabi ko, no, especially that person, sabi ko, she will not call this early at 2 o'clock and I know the awards night is happening. Sabi ko, imposible. 1 o'clock nag-start, 2 o'clock siyang tatawag, so I don't think so. Sabi ko, doon pa lang, kabang-kaba na ako. And then, hindi ko siya sinagot. I look at our thread, sa family thread ko, tinignan kong ganun, nagbabaga, nagbi-blink yung aming sabi ko, that means yung buong family ko dun sa thread namin, nanood pala. Kasi binigyan ko sila ng link eh. So, kinlik ko, I joined them, and then, wow!
Sana, John, binigyan mo din kami ng link. Alam mo, kinikilabutan ako ngayon while listening to you. Oo, kasi nakakakilabot, no? Imagine mo, kapwa mo Pilipino na napapanood mo, that's bigla nakakuha ng ganong award, di ba? So, kanino i-dedicate yung award?
Well, sabi ko nga naman kasi, of course, my inspirations are all the actors that I've been watching since I was young. I mean, the Filipino actors I grew up with. But, of course, all my resources as an actor came from my country. I mean, from all the people I grew up with, my family, my friends, all the actors I work with, the industry, no? So doon galing ang lahat ng resources ko. So definitely sa kanila ko yan, sa atin ko yan dinededicate. Kaya lang sabi ko nga, if I will mention first names, actually this award is I'm offering this to my father, my 2 siblings who passed away during this this pandemic, because they played a great part in my journey as an actor, and then they were my first fans, biggest fans. They were the ones who would always congratulate me every time I get some recognitions, and then I want the world to hear their names because they are so important to me.
Of course. We're so sorry, John, to hear about that. I know how difficult and how sad and heartbreaking it is. I actually didn't want to sort of really mention it during an interview, pero hindi maiiwasan because life, buhay mo yun silang buhay mo. Sila din yung nandyan na nakaantabay sa'yo, and like you said, you're number 1 fans.
Kaya hindi ko pwedeng iwasan kasi talagang part sila nung particular na event now that it happened to me after what happened to them, and it's most especially in this era, this time of history in the Philippines, in the world, that we have this pandemic. So I cannot really actually that hindi ko siya pwedeng hindi isali. At in the first place, I'm just asking na lang them, the 3 of them, and God to make that situation a strength, a source of strength to me kaysa sa magpanghinaan ako. So maging makadagdag na lang siya sa inspiration ko at saka sa strength ko as an actor, as a human being.
At saka, John, I'm sure isa na rin kami doon na namin nagdadasal para sa iyo.
Thank you so much. I need that.
You played Sisoy Salas as journalist on the job. The Missing 8, you really are a journalist there. Ibang-ibang character that we saw in you in the past. Can you tell us paano mo pinaghandaan ang role na ito? Was it, I mean, I don't think it was difficult for you, pero pinaghandaan mo. So paano mo siya pinaghandaan?
Well, sabi ko nga, we've been watching people on screen, on TV, news shows. We've been listening to radio announcers, broadcasters since we were young, since we're growing up. So I know a lot of Sisoy in my mind in different names. We know a lot of people like them. So there's really no difficulties on trying to look for some sound of inspirations. But I don't want him to be pegged in a person or in a character that I know of. I want him to be a character and a radio broadcaster as himself, as Sisoy. I tried to get some nuances so that I can get recall effect to our audience in the Philippines. But I suddenly told myself that, well, if I can use that, it's okay. But if it won't come out, it's also true, because in the very first place, Sisoy is a unique personality, and I have to make him unique. So in preparation to that, aside from those, no, sabi ko nga, the magic of acting is that we saw characters from the outside. You saw characters from the outside. I see the character from the inside. According to the HBO, Sisoy is a corrupt radio journalist who begins to parang to question his loyalty, and so and so and so, kasi ma-spoil ko yung yung story. But for me, I mean, you know, do you think Sisay will think of himself as a corrupt radio broadcaster? Will he wake up one morning and tell himself, I'm going to be a corrupt journalist? Of course not. I mean, he is a very ideal father. He is a very ideal husband. He's a good person. He's a kind person. And he's a very principled person, at the same time, a very idealistic radio announcer. And I believed him. He is. It is just that his principles and his idealism found a person. And since he found a person, he thought that if he's going to idolize that person, he is actually practicing his principles and his idealism. If he idolized that person, he is actually serving his fellow people in that particular town, no? Kasi he's not from the from the city. He is actually a guy from a province. So he is very prone to this romanticism when it comes to relationship. He's very prone to idolize a person. Very prone. Kasi may pagka-provincial. But then, since he is very idealistic and principled man, when he was confronted by criminality and how do you call it, injustice, the seed of that particular principle puts him through, no, to search for the real thing, no matter what happened, no matter if the people involved are the people he respected, and the people he's supposed to be like the people who are ang hirap, no, kasi parang masaspoil ko. It's parang and when he discovered that the instigator is just right in front of his nose, I mean, he still pursued his principles and his idealism, that seed.
John, yung pag-explain mo sa amin kung paano mo pin-repair yung role mo hindi lang yung mga kapwa mo artista na ang daming matututunan for you. Kahit ako, I mean, I know where you're coming from. I know how you're explaining earlier na paano mo siya na hindi siya kagaya ng mga napapanood natin na lumalaki na journalist, kasi may sarili siyang katauhan niya.
Yeah.
So parang, you know, and it's not just actually sa pagiging journalist, pero sa ibang career din. Like me, I have another career also. Nakikita ko rin yung the way you are explaining to me now, how you parang prepared for it. But then, how do you choose a role? Anong hinahanap mo para tanggapin mo yung isang role?
Wala naman, kasi I don't know if I'm just lucky or I did projects that more parang relevant to what is parang relevant to our stories as Filipinos. I really don't know, but dumating na lang siya sa akin yung mga or hindi ko alam, siguro na-attract ko siya, baka dahil ganoon din yung klase ng thinking or energy ko, because as far as I remember, when I was young, in theater, I every time I step on stage, I always tell myself, this is for the Filipino people. This I want to touch. I want to touch some broken hearts. I want to reach out to some lost soul. I wish I can heal some those kinds of audience. Mayroon akong ganong klaseng sinasabi ko because I don't want to be just to be an entertainer. I want to entertain, but at the same time, I want to do something else. I believe because that actors and artists can impart knowledge. We can be a catalyst for change. We can
Yes.
influence people. We can influence group of people of a society. Because in other countries, it is like that. I mean, artists actually influence changes in societies. And I grew up uh, studying those parang realities now from my teachers, from my workshops. So I think what we do is a reflection of what's happening to us, to our families, no, to our societies. So we can entertain at the same time. We can also influence people to heal themselves or to be more parang how do we call it, to be
And to
more,
make a difference.
to make a difference and
Yes.
to help themselves grow or uh, parang succeed in all their dreams. So parang ganun, kaysa sa parang malimutan lang nila yung kanilang problema ngayon. So aside from malimutan nila yung kanilang problema ngayon, parang mabigyan din natin sila ng solution. Ano yung, sige, kalimutan natin yung problema, pero what will we do next? Parang ganun siguro yung nakikita kong role ng actors. We're like psychiatrists. We're like priests. We're like we just don't sit in a room and tell and give advices to patients, or we stand on a pulpit and give our sermons. We do it through the plays and through the role playing that we create and we do. I think that's how I see actors are.
And you can unite. You can unite the
And you
people.
can unite. And you can
Yes.
unite. Yes. I love that. Thank you for, yes, and you can unite people.
Siguro
Definitely.
kaya ngayon yung mga, siguro lang kasi hindi ko naman alam, kilala yung mga sa industry, yung mga dati sigurong hindi masyado nag-usap-usap dahil sa award mo, uy, narinig nyo ba? Napaka-proud natin for John. Yung ganon, di ba? It unites everybody. I mean, because, di ba, once that you are like proud of somebody na tinatangkilik mo, somebody na kasama mo, na parang kahit na kunyari meron kang konting kakalimutan mo yun eh. You would go for the greater good, for the greater, which is here, John brought home something for the Philippines. So recently nangako ang ABS-CBN executives that they will do whatever they can para matupad nila ang dream role mo.
Yeah.
Ano bang dream role mo, John? Ano bang dream role ng isang John Arcilla?
Come to think about it, you know what? My first dream role was actually Juan Luna before I got Antonio, because before I thought Antonio Luna is just an outburst. He's just a mad dog. But I thought, no, because I've already what you call it, I've already encountered him, no, in some of my plays in CCP. Several decades ago, not several decades ago. I was playing. Yeah. I was playing. I started kasi in theater and in legit theater is in 1990, and that's 30 years ago, right? So I've already encountered Antonio Luna in some of my plays. I played Rizal. I played Apolinario Mabini. I played Aguinaldo, and many more, no? Kaya somehow kilala ko na siya. Kaya lang hindi ko siya pinag-aralan kasi I never had a chance to play him. So I thought he's just an Amadog. But when I got the script from Gerald Tarog, and then suddenly I researched about Antonio Luna, I realized that no, he's not. He's multifaceted person. I mean, he's not just a mad dog. He's an artist. He's a lover. He's a son. He loves his country so much. But then I still dream of doing Juan, because Juan has a different kind of how do we call it, rhythm. If Antonio is like fire, no, full of fury, this Juan Luna is like water, but it can transform into a tidal wave. So magkaiba yung kanilang texture, yung kanilang yung movement, yung rhythm ng kanilang characteristic. Kaya parang ang sarap, isa sa mga pangarap ko si Juan Luna. Of course, meron pa ring iba, kaya lang as of now parang yun lang muna nakikita ko. And merong mga iniisip pa din ako, pero hindi ko alam kung magiging possible.
Johnny, update mo kami ha.
Yes,
kahit
definitely.
Wala MTRCB.
Oh, no. Yes.
Alam mo, maraming nag-text kasi, nag-send na messages when they found out ikaw yung guest namin. So may mga questions kami from the netizens. Right. So one is, do you have any regrets as an actor?
As I grow up, I'm a mature person than before. I must say that no regrets already, because when I was younger, every time I feel that I was not able to get the exact acting requirement I need to compose a particular scene. 1 week akong magdudusa sa kakaisip no. Bakit hindi ko ginawa to? Bakit hindi ko ginawa yan? Ha?
Nagmumukmuk ka?
Naggaganon ako. Iibahin kaya ng 1 linggo. Ngayon, ano na lang, seconds na lang. Pag, okay, anyway, bawi ako next scene. So kung ano man yung nakita kong pagkukulang doon sa next scene, idadagdag ko sa kabila para mabura ko lang yung isa. So meron na akong mga natutunan how to parang to heal those possible parang mga regrets na pwede kong ma-encounter, no. So ganun lang siguro. Sa industry wala naman kasi, ang naisip ko lang kasi depende rin naman talaga yan on how you deal with people and with projects and everyone you are working with. So wala naman.
Pero alam mo dyan, maganda yung sinabi mo kasi baka siyempre iniisip, kahit ako noon, nung bata-bata ko, iniisip ko, siguro madali lang umarte, pero tingnan mo yung sabi mo that you go back, and then you go back to that scene and you see kung ano yung pagkukulang mo man, kung meron man in that scene, and then you try to do it better the next time. Kasi syempre maraming mga nanonood ngayon, yung mga kabataan, pag nanonood sila na kala nila ganun lang kadali umarte. Pero actually napakahirap. Like earlier, nung nagchichika-chika tayo before our interview now, na mas mahirap pa actually ngayon with the pandemic and all, and because you have to be locked in for so many days, it affects somehow, and yet you're expected to do your best and to look your best and to act your best, di ba? So yes,
may dadagdag na ako kasi we're not in acting kasi for me, we're not just talking about text, we're talking about context. Pag nagkamali ka lang ng interpretation sa isang character mo, sa isang objective ng particular scene, magbabago ang context ng ng istorya. So ako very sensitive ako sa ganun. Kailangan kong i-serve yung content. Kailangan kong i-serve yung objective ng material. Pag nagkamali ako ng pag-serve ng material as an actor, mag-change yung context ng storya. Iba din yung channel na effect sa audience.
Oo.
So kaya kailangan kong maging ganun ka, how do we call it?
Actually, you're very meticulous.
Yes. Ganun ako may pagka-meticulous sa pag-aaral ng characters.
Of course, because that's what makes you great. And Alam mo, we met na before and sabi ko lang noon, nung na-meet kita sa mga, di ba yung mga events na kailangan namin puntahan, ganyan na, sabi ko, napaka-humble nitong tao na to. Parang wala lang, yung parang hindi niya siguro alam na napakagaling niyang artista. Yung normal lang, yung parang ganon. So, I mean, you know, I'm actually very humbled that you gave this opportunity. Sa observation mo, what do you think are the challenges the Philippine entertainment industry is facing now?
Ang laki-laking challenge nitong pandemic, especially that we cannot actually mount productions, no, especially the live productions, especially for the live artists, no, sobrang very challenging. But while we are waiting for this pandemic to end, I think we really have to cope up and we have to pivot. You know, we have to pivot. I mean, we have to think of ways where we can assert our art. Yes, if we have to maximize the power of mass media, let's do it.
Yeah.
The power of the streaming, let's do it. Of course, we're missing the theater, the movie houses, but if that will endanger our families and our friends, I mean, you know, we have to be more creative using these platforms that we have now, the platforms available. I think that's it. So we really have to wait for everything to normalize. I think kung ano man yung nakikita natin ngayon limitations, we have to work around it as artists, no?
Tsaka ako feeling ko dyan, itong talagang tama ka na kailangan tayong maghintay para na matapos tong pandemic bago maging normal na naman yung pagtitaping ninyo again. Pero feeling ko pag natapos to, bonggang-bonggang bawi ng industriya. Talagang siguro sunod-sunod yung mga i-review ng MTRCB na walang katapusan. Kasi syempre, 'di ba, 2 taon, 'di ba, na tahimik kasi napakahirap. Pero I feel and I'm very hopeful, lalo na dahil magagaling yung ating mga Filipino artists na talagang bonggang-bonggang bawi after. That's what I'm hoping and that's what I foresee. Ano yung dream mo for the industry? You know, given after this pandemic and all, what would be your dream for the industry?
To be out there. Now that we're just going to be, we're one of the modestest side. We're just a small country, but we've been first in so many ways in Asia.
Correct.
We were even before China and Japan.
Yes.
You know what? So I really wish na kahit yung ating industry, even before oh God, even before the great oh my God.
Pero alam mo dyan,
even before the great Lino Broca died, he was supposed to direct the Joy Luck Club in Hollywood. And that was how many years ago? So ang tagal na natin dapat na-recognize talaga globally sa field na ito. So ang dream ko is sana maging kapareho tayo ng mga Chinese, ng mga Japanese na ma-recognize yung klase ng film natin. I'm really so happy with what's happening to our filmmakers now. We're almost part of every other film festivals around the globe. And now we were recognized not just as filmmakers, but also actors. No?
Yes.
I mean, Lea Salonga put the Philippines on the map of the musical theater, and then Jacqueline Jose as an actress, and then this one. So I mean, you know, it's really about time that we should be playing leads in the global scene, because we've been around the globe for so long.
Yes. Tama. At dadating din tayo dyan, like you said, yung mga awards na ganito, we will be able to overtake them also. Palagay ko. Alam mo, ito pa, itong isa na, naku, ang daming nanonood sa'yo kasi sabi nila, patok na patok yung TikTok videos mo.
Tao po, pabili po ng electric fan.
Anong klase ng electric fan?
Yung steady lang, yung hindi lilimon sa iba.
Kung wala ka nang maintindihan, kung wala...
Mami, chicken po kami. Gusto niyo po itry? Anong part po?
Yung part na magkasama kami. Yung part na magkahawak yung kamay namin. Yung part na lang iwalan.
I mean, with like 2.1 million followers, imagine, no? Isa ka sa mga celebrities to embrace the platform early. What's the inspiration behind your content and how do you talk to your followers?
You know what happened? Because I was actually sick, and during those times I was also doing this first Filipino anime. So it's for me a practice of listening and a practice of acting, because you are actually you have to be on point saying the lines, but at the same time the emotion should work with the expression. It is just like talking and lip syncing. The emotion should follow the intonation of a particular sound. So it's at the same time an acting exercise for me. So I took that as an opportunity for that, for listening and for acting for purposes. And then I remember yung first ko na TikTok, nag-hot item kagad yung pagka ano ko pala. And I was so amazed, you know. Akala ko naglalaro lang ako. Because the first time I did that, yung result, natawa ko ng sobra. That was the first time na natawa ko sa sarili ko. There's my face, and then with a different sound. And suddenly, my expression is following the particular sound. So it's me, but it's not me, no? Oh, it's so amazing. Sobrang nakakatuwa. And then so, nung matagal na akong gumagawa, sabi ko sandali, I have to parang kailangan ko magkaroon naman ng significance, because kung nakilala ako as an angry general, somehow may konting recall. So naghanap ako ng mga content na medyo may konting nagagalit para somehow may konting recall, pero dapat may substance. So naghahanap ako hanggang sa makakita ko ng ito, pinagsama-sama ko yung mga emotion ng mga babae, no, na parang nakakaranas ng how do we call it, ng unjust treatment, something like that. So nakahanap ako ng compilation ng mga OFW, mga workers, no. Ito naman mga kids, mga tungkol sa mga bata. So hinaluan ko din siya, hindi ko siya bastang ginawang yun lang, kasi nakakatamad pag pag sumasabay ka lang. Kailangan meron pa ring may kurot, may meaning, or may suntok pa din dun sa nanonood.
Sabihin kay mama mo.
Mahal na din po kita, mami. Pag nanalo po tayo dito, huwag ka nang aalis. Ba't ka ba aalis?
Para sa akin bukasan mo to, anak.
Paano na ako? Sino mag-aalaga sa akin?
Si Mama Carol.
Nanay ko ba yun? Ba't mag-aalaga ka ng iba?
Ano nagtatrabaho si Mami para sa kinabukasan mo?
Paano ako? Sino mag-aayakap sa akin paggabi?
Andiyan naman si Mama Carol, hindi kanya pababayaan.
Naiyak ako sa dalawa. Naluha ako sa tao.
Social relevant din yung mga napipili mong content sa TikTok. At saka talaga nakaka-relate si millions of followers. So,
pero usually, hinahanapan ko rin talaga ng somehow relevant. Kasi parang ayoko naman na kapareho na ako ng marami. Kasi marami nang gumagawa nung nag-lip sync lang. So, para meron din akong, pag sinabing, this is a John Arcilla TikTok, para at least meron din ganun. Yeah.
Pero siguro, John, maganda na minsan, sana kung matapos na to, na we gather all those young artists and you be able to talk to them and tell them your experience and how you prepare for a film and how you prepare even for your TikTok. I'm sure you prepare kasi nga, meticulous ka. You're very meticulous about it, with everything that you do. But I'm curious, no, ito. I'm curious, but this is a question of a netizen na, ano yung gusto mong iwan, Mark, sa mundong ng showbiz at ano yung mensahe mo sa Pilipino, sa amin, to the Filipino people?
That there are bigger things outside ourselves. That we are just part of this world, but we can actually participate in the evolution of people, I mean, of mankind, because that is our role. I mean, and that is not romanticism. I mean, I don't think that's too ideal. I mean, we are human beings. We're part of this world, and whatever we think we can share in order to because whether we like it or not, evolution will happen. And we have to be part of that. We must push it rather than be part of the destruction of man's evolution. So we have a bigger responsibility as human beings, because as an actor, no, I am a human being first before an actor. So that is where my commitment should fall into. I am first a human being before an actor. Being an actor is just my tool so that I can be a good example to my generation and to the other generations coming.
Wow, that's so nice. That's so nice, John. Ang dami pang katanungan. Kahit ako, madami pa akong tanong sa'yo. But, I know that, our time is limited also, but kukulitin kita, John. But thank you so much. Thank you so much. Like I said earlier, I'm so humbled to have you. Thank you for your time. You deserve all the recognition that you're getting, and we're looking forward to seeing you more. To our audience, if you enjoyed today's conversation, let us know. If you have comments, questions, or suggestions for future topics and episodes, do send us a message and we'd be happy to hear from you. You can follow our Facebook page, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, MTRCB UNCUT. I am your host, Rachel Arenas of MTRCB. Mabuhay po ang pelikula at telebisyong Pilipino. Keep safe, everyone. Take care, everyone. And be well.